On this week's show, new Strength Plus features and a partnership with Armada Music.
Plus, Barre and Pilates are getting a refresh, regular live outdoor run classes, and much, much more.
Welcome to Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. Here are your hosts, Amanda Siegel and John Pruitt.
Welcome to episode 217 of Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. I'm John Pruitt, joined as always by my co-host, Amanda Siegel. Hey, Amanda.
Hey, John. How are you?
I am good. How are things in Florida?
Things in Florida are good. A little windy, but you know what? We had such an awesome weekend in DC. The weather was gorgeous last weekend. It was absolutely fantastic. So ended up staying in DC, came down to Florida, and it hasn't been bad. Gotta say, it's a little windy, but enjoying. It's kind of my last week here, and then the summer's over. Come back one more week for graduation. My baby graduates college. The 9th of May. My Miami grad.
It seems like just yesterday you were moving her into the freshman dorm.
Isn't it insane?
Damn.
A month and she graduates, literally a month from today, this weekend. It's just crazy.
And then into the real world, baby.
And then into the real world. So, so I have one this week and then 1 week in May and then we're kind of done.
Wow.
Yeah. So, just enjoying some time down here and, keeping busy. All right. Well, I think we have quite a bit to talk about today. So,
got a few things. Yeah.
Why don't we, get straight into it? We always like to remind you folks that before we, get started with the news, how you can keep up to date with all of our content across all of our platforms. Every episode is recorded on our YouTube channel. Just hit the subscribe button at the bottom right-hand side of the video and hit the notify button so that you never miss an episode.
Yep. And you can listen to us if you are on the go and just want to hear the audio. We're on all traditional podcast platforms. So find us there and please leave us a review. We love receiving those 5-star reviews and we love reading them. And we do definitely appreciate the feedback that you give us and definitely take that into consideration on how we can improve the show. So please keep those coming.
Absolutely. And of course, folks, we are on all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, X. Just search for Pelo Buddy and follow us so that you never miss a beat. And now let's get on with the show.
All right.
First, let's do a rundown of the latest Pelo news.
All right. Well, Peloton recently added a new feature to the Strength Plus app that allows you to build your own entirely custom workouts manually. So a notification announcing the new feature was pushed out on the app. The change for the new feature is described as you can now build your own custom workouts from start to finish. Head to the generator and choose exactly which exercises you want to do and create your own perfect workout from scratch. So previously, the Strength Plus app would generate a workout for you based on duration, your body focus, area, difficulty, and available gym equipment. While that feature is still available, it's called just Generate Workout. There is now a second option to build your own. So when you are in the generator tab at the bottom of the Strength Plus app, you will see a little plus symbol at the top of your screen. And once you click on that plus sign, the two options will display at the bottom to either generate a workout based on your previously provided selections or to build your own custom workout. So once you select build your own, you will be prompted to name your workout so you can save it to take in the future and add your own exercises. And then to add exercises to your custom workout, you can check each from the alphabetical list, search for specific exercises or equipment, or you can filter based on target muscles or equipment. And then once you have added the exercises to the custom workout, you can then edit the number of sets and reps for each by clicking on the ellipses next to the exercise. And the Strength Plus app now gives you the option to pick from something pre-programmed that you know is a well-rounded workout. So you've always had that option, or you can use the app to just create and customize even more to work out exactly the way you want to.
Yeah, I haven't gotten into it yet. Being down here, I thought that maybe I would use it because I do have kind of the equipment and I can use it as a gym, as a gym app type thing. But I don't know. For me, it's just like a little bit too much work. It's like, okay, I got to figure out how to do this.
Yeah, I've got the app. I've got it downloaded. I'm logged in. I just don't really work. I've never done strength off the app really. I'm just doing it off the equipment most of the time. I guess if I was traveling and I wanted to go into a gym and do some strength, which would take some motivation, maybe
right,
would come in handy. But yeah, I haven't tried it.
I'm curious to know how aggressive people have been with it, if they've actually been using it, and whether it's been something that folks have liked to use or not. I'm curious to know. Let us know. I'm curious to know whether folks have liked that or not. All right.
But, nice update.
It is, yeah, for sure. Well, Peloton have gone a little out of the box in the last week or so. We have seen that the fun, unique classes led by instructors Tunde, Jen Sherman, and Kirsten Ferguson recently at PSNY, with them stepping off their bikes and treadmills mid-class to interact with the audience or the members that are in the studio. This has been part of pre-planned instructor-led engagement moments featuring a Steadicam capturing their movements. Tunde's intervals and arms ride from March the 21st had her move from the bike to join members mid-class, creating somewhat of an immersive and high energy experience, which members seem to really, really enjoy, her kind of being there with them in the studio. And then in the 2-for-1 that we spoke about last week, the sing-along walk, the Women's Special History Month class with Jen Sherman and Kirsten Ferguson, they both got off the treadmill and danced and sang with members, and they kind of made it feel like a live concert. I mean, it was really cute to see. Of course, we also got to see, it wasn't the instructors giving the class, but we also got to see the party that went on with Little John with Dennis and Ash and dancing in the studio, and there again that steady camera. So they kind of testing this Steadicam approach for capturing these dynamic instructor interactions
on the floor, the floor cam.
Correct, with this new filming style. We had previously seen this being done or being trialed in the London studio with Bradley Rose and Leanne. But this interactive approach definitely adds a fresh energy to classes, making workouts feel more connected and engaging. And from what we're hearing, I haven't personally been in a class where we've had this, but from what I'm hearing from folks, they really, really like it. It just brings up this different, feel in the studio that folks have really liked it.
It reminds me a little bit of when I used to ride Soul Cycle in Austin, because the instructors come off the bike in Soul Cycle and other traditional studio spin classes where they're sort of just cheering you on and they're walking in between the rows of bikes. It kind of felt like that.
That type of
which is fun. It's different, not for everyone, but I love just that extra production element. And the camera it's not like this grainy, sort of fuzzy, shaky, like it's super steady. And the picture quality is crisp. When I posted a clip, when I did that Alex Lil Jon run live, someone commented on the clip, when Dennis starts dancing, they said he looked like one of those inflatable characters in front of a car dealership, with the wind blowing wildly, and I could totally picture that.
That is hysterical. Like now I can picture that. I didn't see it. I didn't see it before. Now I can see it.
Definitely the same movements that he was doing. Too funny. To the side of Lil Jon's DJ booth. Yeah.
Too funny.
I like it. I'd like more of it.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
Well, moving on, we following the success of the residency with Defected Records in London last year, Peloton is turning up the volume once again, this time with the world's largest independent dance music label, Armada Music. So starting this April, Peloton members can experience the energy of Armada Music firsthand with an exclusive lineup of live DJ-led classes at PSNY and Peloton Studios London. So the residency actually just kicked off with electronic dance music mainstay Artie taking over Peloton Studios New York this past Thursday, April 3rd, with 2 classes. First was a 20-minute live dance cardio class with Emma Lovewell that happened at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and then followed by a 30-minute live DJ ride with Olivia Amato that was at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Throughout the year, though, there's going to be more Armada artists, including Armin van Buuren. He will take center stage to bring the beats across Peloton's diverse fitness discipline. More details to come with a full lineup. But each moment in the residency will spotlight a different Armada Music artist. So we'll see a lot of different figures, DJs, bringing their signature sounds to Peloton Studios in both New York and London. So more Armada Music artists are slated to take over this summer, followed by a fall finale featuring Armada's co-founder and dance music icon, Armin van Buuren. So stay tuned.
Very cool. Again, it's adding this element, this extra kind of layer to just a regular workout. They're just bringing this
bringing the club to the studio a little bit.
Exactly. And it just gives it kind of this different, this different feel and vibe, which is very cool.
Some of, hopefully not taking too much food out of DJ John Michael's mouth. These other DJ folk coming in. I don't know.
Sure
did you ever take any of the old live DJ classes back at 23rd Street? Because they used to have a rotation of other DJs besides him, and some of them.
I didn't.
It would be funny. Like Cody would have this. There would be a female DJ, on the ride, and there would be no chemistry. So it was really kind of like hit or miss with some of the other folks.
Yeah.
But I think these people are seasoned professionals that are coming in from Armada Music. But it made me think of the past rotation that they used when it just wasn't DJ John Michael, and they had other folks coming in to teach some of those.
Yeah. All right. Well, some fun stuff. All right. So, who of you were April Fooled? You got to mention it. I think some of you were, but Chris, as always, put out his April Fool's joke. And I think this one definitely caught a few people. It was his Peloton's push-ups and politicians that went around on April the 1st, and definitely got a couple of chuckles. I think there was some people that were actually kind of disappointed that it wasn't a real thing.
Yeah, some people were saying, I kind of like this idea.
Yeah, get them in there, and let's kind of let's get down and dirty with the politics and politicians out there. So a huge shout out to Chris, because it's a lot of work to put that together and think of it, and especially while he's out at sea on a cruise this past week, and he still took the time and the effort to put that together. So certainly from us.
One little thing I got to be critical of he showed a picture of Alex from a right after he completed a Ride to Greatness.
Yeah.
So there was the TV screen in the back with the 2 scores. And so obviously he swapped out, Team Activate, Validate with Democrats, Republicans. But if you looked closely, the Republicans lettering went past the TV screen. So it was it looked like it was
hysterical.
On the wall. So it didn't even fit in that space.
I didn't notice that.
I don't know. Did you notice the Peloton memes page? They posted a really funny April that I thought I was like, why didn't I think of that? Which I thought was great.
That one was very cute.
Where they made this, it looked like an official announcement from Peloton saying there would be no more shout outs.
I did think that was kind of cute. Which could have been. That could have been. Exactly.
I couldn't come up with anything for April Fools. Usually I would always post an April fools spoof, like a fake news announcement that either Cody or Dennis is leaving to go to Echelon. But I mean, that's played out. I did that so many years that nobody's going to fall for that. So I just posted a clip from Cody a year or two ago, saying that it's April Fools and that don't fall for it.
Yeah, don't fall for it. Anyway, we thought we would just give Chris a little shout out there for his work in that.
Pretty good, Chris. Pretty good. All right. So a little friendly reminder. We've mentioned it past episodes, but from April 7th through the 13th. So just starting, I guess, April 7th is Monday.
Yep. Tomorrow.
So beginning Monday, April 7th through the 13th, Peloton Studios New York will be closed. So there will be no live classes out of there. Obviously, no classes with members. Will be shut down. Obviously, we expect to get some on-demand drops in the meantime. But during that time, though, Peloton Studios London will be open. So we will get live content from the other studio in the UK. Currently, though, Peloton Studios London is closed. So they've been closed since March 31st.
Through today,
through today.
Sunday.
So they'll reopen on the 7th, which is the first day that PSNY is closed. So that's nice that we don't have overlap. And then also, I did notice on the 9th, we do have actually some live classes. We do have a couple live rides from Cody, who will be in London.
Nice,
so that's kind of a nice surprise for a Wednesday when normally we don't have any live stuff.
Exactly. He'll be in London. That's quite right. Oh, that's a good reminder for everybody.
Yeah,
good.
And he's got a couple other
classes
rides
on the weekends. I think
I can't think off the top of my head. Yeah.
Yes. Good catch. All right. Well, Peloton has also, they've been busy. They've refreshed the barre and Pilates classes with new class names and formats, which was launched on April the 2nd. The update is designed to make workouts more goal-orientated and accessible. The new class types include Barre Express, which is a 15-minute quick full body workout with isometric holds and push and pulsing movements. There is Pilates Power, which is a 30-minute full body Pilates class of more intense dynamic movements, incorporating equipment and advanced choreography. Then we've got Pilates Express, which is a 15-minute class, which is going to be a shorter version of Pilates for those that have limited time. There's Pilates Upper Body, which is a 10-minute focused workout targeting upper body strength. And lastly, Barre will have a 30-minute sculpt class, which is a high intensity class using accessories for an added challenge. The classes will be available on demand and live through Peloton's platform. This update really just aims to enhance flexibility, strength, and balance, and just give, that particular program, and modality a little bit of a refresh and maybe focus and kind of guide folks a little bit more towards that. I was actually out with a girlfriend, this week who, is not a huge Pelotoner, but she likes it. And she was saying that she is obsessed with the barre and Pilates classes. She said that's almost all she does now. She hardly ever gets on the bike. She's been dealing with some back issues, and she says it's been amazing for her. So it's good to know that, folks really do like these type classes. So that's awesome.
Yeah. And they're still putting time into enhancing them and adding.
Fantastic.
Well, Peloton is now giving their live outdoor running classes a more regular schedule. So most Saturdays at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, there will be a live outdoor run available for people to take. Note, these classes they're not in-person runs. Like, you don't show up to the studio and go running outside with the instructor or someone. They're on the Peloton platform. So in a post on Instagram sharing the news the other day, Peloton said, a run club you can join from anywhere on the app or the tread, join a different instructor each week and run as a community in these live outdoor classes. So at this time, the first two live outdoor run classes are on the live schedule. The first live one already happened. It went down yesterday on April 5th. And that was a 60-minute live outdoor run club with Bex Gentry. Next up on the schedule is next Saturday, April 12th at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. That is a 30-minute live outdoor run club with John Hosking. And then keep in mind, even though it says they're called live outdoor runs, the instructor is not actually running outdoors, and the instructor, they're not teaching the class live in that moment at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So it's not like they're saying a leaderboard or anything and giving milestone shout outs or anything like that. It's recording from the production studio, so it's already been pre-recorded. However, there are outdoor audio classes that show up as live on the Peloton class schedule.
Yeah, definitely a little bit confusing. I know Bex put out a PSA on her Instagram because I think lots of folks thought that they were going to rock up at PSNY and go run live with Bex.
Just through the park outside.
Yeah. She was like,
that would be fun.
Well, I wish that this was what I was doing.
For 60 minutes.
Because the UK studio do that a lot. I mean,
quite regularly.
Do that regularly during the week and stuff. So I think that people were a little confused and or excited, and they did have to clarify that. It was a little bit deceiving.
Those always seem to get a full capacity turnout. I mean, even Selena Samuela just did. It wasn't a Peloton sanctioned one; it was with New Balance, but she had a whole full crew of people doing. I can't remember if it was a 5K or 10K outdoor run. That was a New Balance event recently.
Yeah. All right, so just wanted to share with you folks, if you were a little frustrated that last Monday you were ready to do Jess Sims Flash 15 and suddenly saw it quietly disappear from the schedule, Peloton Studios in New York experienced a leak, which did lead to the cancellation of some of the classes, one of them being Jess's Flash 15 strength class. It was just after 12, so I believe she did her 12 o'clock class, and then the Flash 15, which was, I believe, at 12:20, didn't happen. Folks were worried and thought that maybe something had happened to her. She did pop onto Insta and say, "I'm okay, don't worry, everything's fine. I didn't die in my last class, but that we had a leak, and I wasn't able to continue doing this." Additionally, Emma Lovewell's 2 p.m. Eastern Time ride was also cancelled. That still remains unclear whether it was related to the leak. Nothing was confirmed. It isn't,
and that would have had members in the studio
not 2 o'clock, not the 2 o'clock. I think just the morning.
Not 2 o'clock on a Monday.
No, I think they just have members through like lunchtime. Just as a reminder, this isn't the first time that there was a leak at the New York studio. There had been one last July. There was a water leak in the yoga studio, which led to some cancellations.
I remember that.
But if you were wondering what happened last Monday, that's it. But it seems to have all been fixed.
Nice. Well, Peloton has shared which featured classes you can look forward to during the week of March 31st through April 6th through their weekly This Week at Peloton Instagram post. First up, Kirsten Ferguson had a 30-minute NBA season finale run on Monday, March 31st. That was at noon. She was joined by NBA star Rudy Gay. And then on Tuesday, April 1st, Ally Love had a live 20-minute dance music bar class. And then on April 2nd, a new installment of Alex Karwoski's Form Fixer Row became available to take on demand. This is a 20-minute 2-for-1 row with Alex and Rad Lopez. And then lastly, this week, Chelsea Jackson Roberts taught a 30-minute advanced beginner pop yoga flow live this morning, Sunday, April 6th at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time.
Nice. And for all you country western fans, or country fans, I should say.
Country western
fans. Hannah Corbin's Country Happy Hour. Listen to me. That is a little bit of an alliteration.
Country Happy Hour
class, Country Happy Hour class series returned this past week for a new season, and singer Jordan Davis joined Hannah in the first one live in studio with members this last weekend. There will be new classes each month until the summer, so look out for those. She was definitely very excited about it and also posted on social media. And with him, Jordan posted something on as well, and he was excited to have been in the studio with her. So that was kind of cool to see.
The country artists seem more willing to be there in person for some of these special classes. I think they're more, about promotion, getting their name out. So
for sure,
it's kind of nice when they actually are in the class there and, doing the workout or performing. Like the Keith Urban one comes to mind.
Yes.
He was playing the guitar.
Yes, I love that.
During the ride.
I think Jordan Davis was actually on the bike, if I'm not mistaken.
So he was just working out, yeah.
He was actually working out, yeah. He was actually working out.
Yeah, so I'm sure they had him mic'd up and had all the lighting set on
him
as well.
I did not do the class, but yes.
Well, Peloton is continuing its tradition of celebrating Transgender Day of Visibility, or TDOV, which takes place on March 31st every year with special themed classes. These classes fall under Peloton's Pride 365 series that the company periodically creates. So this year, Peloton had 2 Transgender Day of Visibility classes from Robin Arzon and Maddie Giacomo that were released on the 31st. So what we got for 2025, the 2 TDOV classes were a 20-minute Pride 365 TDOV walk with Robin, and then a 20-minute Pride 365 TDOV full body strength with Maddie. So both of those are now on demand and available in the library. Peloton shared the following comment when they announced the classes. They said, "We see you, we advocate for you, and we're always here to sweat with you. Take on the day with special new classes celebrating you and everything you are."
Nice. And that actually tied in nicely with Maddie's, not part of Peloton, but his book club that he has. And his book for March was Woodworking, which is a transgender, written by a transgender author. So it was kind of nice that the two simultaneously happened. He actually did a live with Emily, the author, at the same, on TDOV Day. So that was kind of cool to see at the same time.
Yeah, nice tie-in.
Yeah. All right. Well, Peloton has also launched a new German language program called Discover Pilates with Mila Lazar. This is a 1-week program which is designed to help users strengthen their bodies, improve flexibility, and prepare for more advanced Pilates classes. The program includes a 5-minute intro class, a 30-minute, 45-minute, and a 60-minute Pilates class throughout the week, and members will receive badges for completing at least 2 out of the 4 classes. The program is available on Peloton bikes, treads, and the Peloton app, and of course the website. And as with the other Peloton programs, classes unlock progressively as users complete each stage. Of course, you can always head to pellobuddy.com, and Chris has them unlocked on the website. Jailbroken links. But it is a nice way for, if you follow through them, it's a nice way of progression within this particular program if you do them in order.
Well, Peloton once again celebrated UK Mother's Day, which was on March 30th this year, with 2 special themed classes. First, Bex Gentry taught a 20-minute UK Mother's Day run on March 30th that dropped on demand. And then Leanne Hainsby taught a live 30-minute UK Mother's Day ride on March 30th. And Peloton's been offering UK Mother's Day classes each year since 2021. In addition to this last weekend's UK-themed workouts, members can also expect US Mother's Day classes just around the corner in May, and Father's Day classes in June, based on past years that we've had those. Last year, Peloton also offered some specific UK Father's Day classes as well, so stay tuned. That's just around the corner.
I actually pulled up, and I should have had it for recording today, but I pulled up as to the reasoning why Mother's Day was different in the UK, and there actually is a reason. It had to do something with the difference in flowers. There was no, because the seasoning is the same, but there is a reason. It's definitely a little, frustrating that the day, it's a different day, to how we celebrate, because Father's Day is universal, but Mother's Day is not. But there is a reasoning. So if you guys want to know, go to ChatGPT. They'll tell you exactly why it's different. There is a reasoning though. Thought I'd throw that out there.
You can always rely on ChatGPT.
For something.
Break it down.
It'll tell you everything.
Some things.
Peloton also celebrated the Eid al-Fitr holiday on March 29th with a series of on-demand and premier classes across different workout styles. These included a 20-minute run with Marcel Dinkins, a 10-minute full-body stretch with Justin Thompson-Rule, a 10-minute glutes and leg strength with Adrian Williams, and a 15-minute arms and shoulder strength class in German with Asal Aryan. Peloton first introduced these Eid al-Fitr classes in 2023, and the tradition continues with an expanded instructor lineup this year. These classes honor the festival of breaking the fast, which marks the end of Ramadan. And happy birthday. We got 2 birthdays this week. Yesterday, Jermaine Johnson, proud daddy, celebrated his birthday. So happy birthday to Jermaine. And today, April the 6th, our sweet Ali Love celebrates her birthday. So happy birthday to Ali. And I guess let's go straight into Instructor in the News. And why don't you kick it off, John?
Right. Well, Cody was recently interviewed in GQ magazine online. The article is titled "The Real Life Diet of Peloton Instructor Cody Rigsby, whose philosophy is protein over everything." It says the former professional dancer doesn't love cooking or pull-ups, but will hit the treadmill when he's off the bike. Some of the questions that stuck out to me were, do you refuse to even look at the bike when you're not working? And he said, I teach 4 to 6 classes a week, and I've been doing this for 10 years, so I enjoy when I get to teach, but I'm going to do cardio. He said, I typically get on the Peloton tread that I have in my apartment and do a hiking class. I know he's a big fan of Rebecca Kennedy because he loves to take one particular Rebecca Kennedy strength class that he's taken dozens of times.
Really?
But he's a big Rebecca stan. He says, I used to do some more running, but I'm only getting older, so I'm trying to be a little more low impact with it. And then he was asked, what is your least favorite thing to do at the gym? He said, it's going to be leg day. He said, it's just never fun, no matter how used to it you get. It's always challenging. Unfortunately, the point of the gym, he said, is to constantly challenge yourself. So if it gets easy, then you have to push yourself and lift heavier. He says, talking about his daily routine, he always starts with a glass of water in the morning. And then he said that's the thing that you first need when you have to get your body going, even before you have coffee, which he says, I try to have water. I try to wait, he says, 30 minutes until he has his cup of coffee after he's had his water. He says it's such an easy win. And New York tap water, he says, is incredible, apparently. I don't know if you share. Do you share that sentiment? New York tap water?
I don't know.
There's a lot of stuff in that water. I don't know.
I would be nervous. Yeah. Can I have the Britain?
Maybe, I don't know, maybe in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, it's cleaner than Manhattan.
It's cleaner water.
He says, so I have my water, then I have my coffee. I also start my day off with a full cup of egg whites because it's easy protein. I have flavored egg whites. I try to do unflavored, and it's just too hard to eat along with a piece or two of sourdough toast with grass-fed butter. And then that's the first thing that I put into my body, he says. He says, then before I go to work out, I try to eat either eggs or steak or both for more protein. And then he gave a shout out to some, protein balls that he's a, brand.
Sale of.
Yeah, brand. No, he's a brand ambassador. He's a paid advertiser for.
Got it. Got it. Interesting. All right. Good for Cody. All right. Well, this is kind of interesting. Christine Dirkley will be hosting a 3-day retreat in New York City focused on self-talk and personal growth. Attendees will engage in workshops to explore how their inner dialogue impacts their lives and learn tools to take control of their narratives. The retreat will run from Friday, May the 16th to Sunday the 18th. There will be a dinner on Friday evening with Christine, and the workshops will be Friday from 5 to 6, Saturday from 12 to 2, and then there's a group activity from 2 to 3:30 p.m. The retreat will end on Sunday, May the 18th, with a session from 10 to 12 to 12 noon. It will be held at the Loft at Serenity Retreat, New York City, which is on the Upper West Side, with a price tag of $1,000. So I don't know if that includes accommodation or not. I don't believe it does. But if you are interested, you can head over to Pelo Buddy and sign up for it.
Nice. Well, big congratulations to Logan Aldridge, who competed his first High Rocks last week. And hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, High Rocks.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's right.
He posted on his Instagram a little video clip of him in action at the event with the caption that read, "First High Rocks, I'm hooked. Next up, NYC High Rocks, May 30th. So High Rocks, if you're unfamiliar with it, it's an indoor fitness race that combines a lot of different elements, running with functional exercises. It's designed to test participants' strength, endurance, as well as coordination. So it consists of 8 1-kilometer runs interspersed with 8 functional exercise stations. And then the exercise stations will include sled pushes, burpees, rowing, and wall balls. And participants, you can either compete individually, in pairs, or in teams. And it goes back to, it was founded in Germany in 2016. And it's grown now to include races in over 40 different countries worldwide. And it's considered the World Series of fitness racing. And I believe Robin Arzon competed in it in Manhattan recently. She posted about it.
Incredible.
But super intense, like, American Gladiators style intense.
I didn't look to see. Was there a category for adaptive athletes, or did he participate as as a regular athlete?
Yeah, that I didn't catch.
I know, I didn't either. I meant to look at that because it was pretty intense. I mean, I looked at his reel that he posted and I was like, wow, that's incredible. And I mean, it would have been amazing if he was competing with, regular athletes. So good for him. Good for him. Amazing. Huge congrats. All right. Well, Jess King was featured in an article in theadvocate.com in the health and wellness section. The article titled "Jess King from Dancer to Peloton Instructor to Life Coach" highlights Jess's journey from professional dancer to Peloton instructor to life coach and wellness advocate. It shares that Jess, as a queer Latina fitness expert, emphasizes the importance of mental, physical, and spiritual wellness in her life and career. She talks about her career transition in that she initially started out as a professional dancer who appeared on So You Think You Can Dance and toured with Cirque du Soleil, who hesitated to shift into fitness but found success and purpose at Peloton. She also talks about her Mindful 3 program, a 90-day wellness program she created that focuses on food fitness, physical fitness, and spiritual fitness, offering customized nutrition, group coaching, and virtual training. She shares how she overcame personal challenges, including a difficult breakup, and embracing movement and wellness and self-care, and how she approached pregnancy and postpartum changes with self-acceptance and surrender, choosing home birth and embracing the process. It's actually a really cool article. Really cool article. Lastly, just to add, she talks about the 2 platforms that she's launched, Thoughtful and On the Record. Thoughtful offers life coaching and personal development, while On the Record amplifies underrepresented voices in sports, including Latina, LGBTQ, and women athletes. So jump on that article if you are interested in learning more.
While rounding out instructors in the news, Adrienne Williams was featured in magazine titled Adrienne Williams Shares How to Stick to Healthy Habits. The much-loved Peloton instructor tells us how to make fitness a key part of your lifestyle. And so he breaks it down. First off, he says, establish healthy habits by setting small goals. Then he says, take an emotional lap. He says, if you've ever taken a class on the Peloton platform, chances are you've heard him talk about taking an emotional lap. He said, it's something I got from one of my coaches growing up. It was our way of resetting when we were feeling the stress of the load from the workout. He says, make rest days as key to your routine as your hard workouts. He says, Williams confesses that before he joined Peloton, he was working out 6 to 7 days a week. He says, I was in a community and working in a space where I teach and see friends, and they'd be like, take the class. And I would say, okay, even though it might be a day I was supposed to be not to be doing any movement, he said. And then nowadays he's become much more comfortable with saying no and making rest a priority. And then lastly, this one just speaks for itself. He says, cut yourself some slack.
Amazing. Awesome. All right. Well, we will go right into class picks of the week. I will kick it off. We've got Rad Lopez's 10-minute chest and back strength. This one was from the 27th of March at 10:10 a.m. It came to us from Spin Loving Mama and Julie MJ. They said this might be the longest 10 minutes of your life with all the push-ups and flies, but it's a great class. And then we've got Benny Adami, his 30-minute Lady Gaga ride. It is in German, but now we have subtitles, so no excuses not to take any of the different language classes. This one comes to us from Bertha C. Runs MD, Just Dance Lisa, and Amajar 3. They said it was basically just the music and Benny's enthusiasm. No gimmicks. Plus, he was on all day and night giving out high fives in his own ride and encouraging people to take it. So he's actually been traveling in Australia and New Zealand while he's on his break.
So he got some dental work. He had to go back home.
That was before.
Before that,
he's been, and then he traveled. So I think he gets back this weekend. But yeah, so he was on there giving out his high fives. And then, of course, Cody and Tunde's 30-minute Lady Gaga 2-for-1 ride, also from the 27th. Wow, this one came to us from Gwen Gets To Bada Be Hitting Me, Spin Loving Mama, Checking My Pulse, Amajar 3, and Karen Zemskaberry. And they said this pairing was so much fun. I'm glad Tunde convinced Cody to include some of Lady Gaga's older hits in the playlist.
I did that live. It was a little chaotic.
I did it live too.
Cody and Tunde have, two of the strongest personalities.
Yes.
So I feel like with these 2-for-1 classes, it can be tricky, especially if you get 2 random instructors that just, totally different personalities, and then 2 with really super strong personalities like Tunde and Cody. Cause it was cute. They were constantly sort of just arguing, bickering, and it was fun. But yeah, sometimes, some of them, can be kind of like awkward, and past 2-for-1s. It just feels a little off, but they got along great.
one of the things that I noticed, one of the
along.
things that I definitely noticed is, Tunde works so hard when she's on that bike. And I've always said to you, Cody looks like he's never riding. So
he does stop a lot.
A lot. And it was evident,
he dances.
And when you see the two of them on there, I mean, I think he even made a comment about it at some point. He goes, I'm going to get off and not be sweating, and you're going to get off and be drenched, or something. But I thought that was kind of funny.
All right, I got the next ones. Kira Michelle's 30-minute yoga flow for March 28th. Armajar 3 said lots of balancing and eagle pose for a great flow. And then Mila Lazar's 30-minute 90s dance ride, which was in English for March 29th. Gwen Gets To and Armajar 3 said, I love this rare English language ride from Mila. She had great energy, and the playlist took me back to my 90s clubbing days. And then Bex Gentry's 60-minute rock run from the 29th. Just Dance Lisa said, so tough, but also fun.
Nice. And then we have Maddie Giacomo's 20-minute Broadway walk. This was from the 29th, came to us from Rachel Spin's 24. She said, a great Broadway class, as always, from Maddie. Then Leanne Hainsby-Oltz's 30-minute UK Mother's Day ride from the 30th came to us from Gwen Gets To. They said Leanne had an upbeat and inclusive message for this ride. She also gave a couple special shout outs and got off the bike to give high fives. That's kind of cool. And then Emma Lovewell had a 20-minute 90s rock ride from the 30th. This one came to us from Karen Zemskaberry, and they said great rock playlist from Emma.
All right, Jen Sherman's 45-minute 80s ride for March 30th. Eric rides PPC and Rachel spins 24, said playlist was even more epic than one of her sing-along classes she was rocking. I concur with that one. I always love an 80s class, and this playlist was right up there. Next up, Hannah Corbin's 30-minute country happy hour ride for March 30th. Amy MS Chalk said, I don't even like country, but I loved the joy in this class. And then Marcel Dinkins, 30-minute intervals run from the 30th. Ross Unofficial said, good class structure and playlist.
Nice. And then we have Selena Samuela's 30-minute pop run. It was from the 31st of March. It came to us from the Sweet D, and they said, just love her energy. And then Camilla Roman's 20-minute pop punk run. This was also from the 31st, came to us from Tabata Be Hittin' Me. They said the playlist was so good. Camilla kept it real and the class flew by. Love these pace targets too. And then Kelly Galaxon had a 20-minute soundtrack strength club. This one was from April the 1st. It came to us from Amajar 3, and she said, this made me want to rewatch Dodgeball.
Okay. Katie Wong's 30-minute boot camp 50-50 row from April 1st. Tabata Be Hittin' Me said, the timing with the best drops and loved Tabata rounds for strength. Amazing workout. And then Mariana Fernandez's 30-minute 90s run from April 1st. Sarah Feld and Rachel Spins 24 said, Mariana is such a great coach with unique playlists. We'll do this again and again. And then rounding out the picks of the week, Anna Greenberg's 30-minute Pilates Power from April 2nd. Alex Dole 2 said, seamless class flow, perfect instruction.
Nice. So a nice rounded out list
nice
of picks of the week for this week. And that wraps it up for you folks. We got a little bit of everything in there today. So as always, thank you so much for tuning in, for taking the time to listen or watch, whether you took us on the go or you had your cup of tea and got to watch us on YouTube. We appreciate you taking the time. And we will see you here again next week. So for me here from Florida, bye for now, everybody.
And for me in Michigan, thank you for watching and listening. And as always, we will see you on the leaderboard. Bye for now.
Thank you for watching Pelo Buddy TV, your source for everything Peloton, by the community, for the community. Work out with us using the Pelo Buddy TV leaderboard tag and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Pelo Buddy. Don't forget that we have a podcast available so that you can listen to us while on the move. Just search for Pelo Buddy TV on any major platform and hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode.